Think it's going. Welcome, everybody. My name is Joseph Arnold, and this is the Musicians Tension Reset Lab, a free weekly live class where you can learn to play longer without tension and pain. And we go through 4 rotating themes each week. And, I guess it's a weekly theme, or is it you can consider it a monthly theme. We're on theme 4 right now, doing the body mapping with arms, and today we're going to be doing a bunch of things. Okay, so first, if you plan on doing any playing, want me to help you with that, with your playing, then be sure to do original sound for musicians. Get that set up, or else we won't be able to hear you. And so today I'm going to talk about, we got a bunch of people coming in, so I'm just going to pause. All right, welcome everybody. We're just getting started here. All right, good. So today we're going to talk about body mapping, what it is. We're going to do some body mapping with the arms, and we'll talk about how that applies to playing your instrument. Or even if you're a singer, body mapping can be really helpful because we do everything with our whole body. Everything's a whole body activity. This is one of the lessons of Alexander technique. All right, welcome to Brian and the others just coming in. Gwen, good to see you again. So we're going to go over that, and so I'll be talking for a little bit, and we'll do some demonstrations. So if anybody wants to get my help with your playing, like if you have arm tension, I can help you with that. And then at the end, we're gonna have a raffle for a signed copy of this bad boy, my book, Soulforce: How to Discover Your Artistic Purpose, Create More Freely, and Make Art That Matters. And so be sure to stick around for that. Okay, so today's lesson is around body mapping. So who here has heard of body mapping, ever tried body mapping? Anybody? Got one, two, a couple. Okay, good. So body mapping is the practice of applying anatomical knowledge to your lived, embodied experience. So, anatomy, a lot of anatomy training is pretty abstract. You're looking at a picture on a page, learning the names of this or that bone or muscle, but not necessarily applying it to like how you actually get about in the world. And so this is where body mapping comes in. It's the practice of mapping what we understand about anatomy to like how you actually move, to your first person experience of getting around and playing music or whatever it is. And where body mapping is really helpful is that very often we have rather inaccurate body maps. What is a body map? It is where you believe your muscles and bones and everything are in your body. And our body map gets informed by the images and toys and habits of those around us. A lot of people, what we're talking about today is about the arms. A lot of people, play with their toy soldier or a Barbie or whatever, and and on that toy you see this seam right at the shoulder, and so then you think in your mind, like as a little kid, like, oh, I guess the arm starts there, and maybe it works like kind of a swivel thing, right? And so you take in these kinds of images and examples when you're young, and or it can be just like an offhand thing that somebody says. Cultural habits around the body. You take all this stuff in, and it becomes part of how you think your body works. And the important thing is that you move according to how you think your body works. You move according to your body map. And if your body map doesn't map onto reality accurately, then you're going to have problems. And the arms are one of the most mismapped body parts that I've come across. in studying this and teaching this kind of stuff for a long time now. And so, and of course, this has great applicability to playing musical instruments. Again, even if you're a singer, you want to be able to make sure that your body map is accurate. Okay. So, so let's see. We're going to do a little pop quiz here. So, how many major joints do you think are in your arms? How many major joints? I see Mary shrugging. Okay, I see 2, I see 4, 3, 4. Okay, so prove it to me. Who's going to be brave? Show me 1. Okay, so I see Miriam doing 1, 2, and 3. Where else? Somebody says 4. Where's the 4th one? Tom's ahead of the game here, showing number 4 right here. There's actually a 5th one. That's a stumper, right?
Is it your scapular?
Well, there isn't a bone-to-bone joint back there.
Okay.
That's kind of floating in a web of connective tissue and muscle. All right. Any guesses as to the mysterious 5th joint? All right, it has to do with this motion.
How the tibia and fibia connect, yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the joint? The wrist? Is there a joint?
It's inside on the inside of the elbow, the ulna and right. What's this other one called? I'm teaching a class on
the ulna and the carpal. The ulna. I don't know, but I have ulna compression right now. So.
All right. Well, at least you got that one. So.
Right.
I can't remember. It's blanking on the name of this bone in the forearm, but that one connects to the humerus and it articulates with the ulna a little bit as well, and that's a big part of radius. Thank you, of course, because it helps you radiate your arm. So that's number 5. So wrist 1, 2, and 3 inside the elbow, 4 at the shoulder, and 5 right here. This is the one that most people miss. So what we're going to do first is just palpate all of these. So we're going to do them with both arms. So take your hand. The wrist's pretty easy. I bet you have that mapped pretty well, right? Because you can see it, right? So go ahead on both sides. But feel inside. How does that actually move? It's not really like a hinge, right? You have a whole bunch of little tiny bones in there. And they all kind of bend around and squish around as you move. All right, and then put your hand on the inside of your elbow, perhaps, and see if you can sense inside to where that rotation happens. It's not so easy. We don't have very many sensory nerves to feel where that rotation happens. But you can sort of sense inside there. And you can sense that it happens, the ulna and the radius kind of move around each other. It's not like one stays in place and the other moves. They rotate around each other. But even if you move your hand around like this, you rotate like that, put your fingers right on your ulna, you'll notice that the ulna actually can stay pretty stable as you move your hand around like this, right? So that's kind of a point of stability. And then the movement of the ulna is that the very end of the bone sort of slides around the end of the humerus, kind of like this. It slides around. So you can feel that sliding motion, and it's good to do it on both sides, so you can really sense that motion happening. Again, you don't really have a lot of sensory nerves inside to feel exactly where the joint is, but you can kind of get a sense of it, and that helps. And for this joint, a lot of people say that for the elbow, it feels further away. When they actually map out where that joint is, it seems further away than they thought. All right. And then for the shoulder joint, the humerus sits inside the scapula. I was thinking about my little skeleton I have. And you can kind of feel the head of the the humerus through the front of your shoulder, a little bony knob in there. And only part of the humerus sits inside that socket. All right, and so that's where people typically think that their arms actually come from. But if you put your hand on your clavicle here and move your arm up and down, you might notice that your clavicle also moves. Or back and forth. All right, noticing that that clavicle moving. And if you put your fingers, this was a revelation for me many years ago, put your tips of your fingers right on the very end of the clavicle there, and just notice how it moves as you move your arm around. This is the only bone-to-bone joint of your arms to the rest of your body. How about that, huh? This is where your arms start, so to speak. All right, and then the other side. All right, and then as you do that, notice that your scapula glides around your ribs on the back. It's not stuck in place. It's embedded in a web of muscles and bones. And I have some pictures here to illustrate all this. Anybody seen this anatomy textbook? It's from the 1600s. It's got a little bit of a glare there. It's called Albinus on Anatomy. And they have some beautiful pictures here. And one thing that I notice about in these pictures is pretty easy to see, is that really your arms go so much further than just here, right? This is the common endpoint of arm thinking for most of us. But take a look. Of course, we have arm muscles going from here, but the arm muscles go through the chest and down your sides, through serratus anterior and the pec major here and up to the neck and jaw, into the face. Arm muscles go all the way up to the skull and through the sides here and down to the pelvis. Here we go. Arm muscles curve around your body. This one is especially good for seeing this. Your entire back is covered in arm muscles. Consider that for a moment. From your head to your pelvis to your tailbone, really. And because your whole body is a web, all the muscles and bones and everything, can you really make a difference between your arms and anything else? Can you really say there's like a hard and fast difference? Oh, this is part of your arms and that's not? It's all a web. I have a device that illustrates this point. So this is a tensegrity dodecahedron. There will be a quiz at the end. But you can see this is a web. Right? There's struts and the elastic in between, and the whole thing moves. If you move one small thing, the whole thing moves along as well. So there really is no hard and fast distinction, no clear cutoff point between any one body part and anything else. And that's especially true of the arms. And if you're having arm tension, you can be sure that that's probably coming from elsewhere in your body. All right, so let's open up the conversation a little bit here. Any insights so far? Any little discoveries, questions? Just go ahead and raise your hand. What do you notice? Yeah, Mary, go for it.
I don't know if it's a relevant connection, but this is so similar to what I'm learning in Pilates, I like how the interconnection and and so I was already thinking that my arm doesn't end here. Yeah. It definitely goes back there.
Yeah.
How the shoulder blades connect. It's an interesting field. And you
Yeah,
know a lot of anatomy, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I went to massage school years ago and learned all the muscles and bones.
Oh,
And it's also part of my Alexander technique training a bit. Yeah. Anybody else? How does this compare with how you usually think about your arms?
So I used to be a circus performer and I tore
Mm.
the snot out of my left shoulder.
Mm.
So I know a lot. And like they wanted to do surgery on it at one point. And I was like, absolutely not. Those
Mm.
never work out. So
Mm.
yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's where it
Mm.
sticks.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Hey, Martin?
Yeah, I think it's very informative. I
Yeah.
often have a lot of stiffness in my back and neck when I'm playing.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Back and neck, it's also your arms. Arms and back, it's all the same thing. All right. Any other insights, noticings? All right. So, got a couple other things. So, one of the things that I say to many of my students is that when you're doing what you think of as an arm activity, it's not an arm activity. It looks like an arm thing, but it's not. That's what I say to them. And so we'll do a couple explorations of that. So here we go. We're going to do a couple experiments. So first, uh, just standing or sitting as you are, put your arms up in the air and wiggle your fingers. Just notice what that feels like. Okay, nothing special. Okay, put your arms back down and then take a slump. So your head is going down, your back is going down, and then put your arms up, wiggle your fingers. All right, that's a grimace there from Miriam. Like, oof. All right, so that feels pretty different, right? Or what if we go like too far up and kind of brace your back, like overdoing good posture, and then put your arms up, wiggle your fingers. Okay, what does anybody notice with that?
Increased tension.
Yeah, yeah, increasing attention. So yeah, go ahead. Anybody else? Is there a connection between what's happening in your head, neck, and back and your arms?
it's less flexible when you do those other positions.
Yeah,
Less
exactly.
range of motion.
Yeah. Right. And so, what does this mean about like how you know hold your body as you play? You know, we're told to use good posture, or like with violin. I don't know about you, but I was taught to hold the violin kind of like clamping it here, right? But if you're clamping, you know, okay, ostensibly, the clamping there is to make your left arm free for shifting or vibrato or whatever. But if you're clamping, then your head and neck is getting tense. And if your head and neck is getting tense, then your arms are going to get tense, right? And so it's one of these times when there's a technique that's meant to be helpful, but it ends up getting in the way because it's not fully informed with how your body actually works. So you can kind of think of your approach to playing. You know, how often when you're doing, um, when you're playing, your focus is probably mostly on your hands and arms, or on the music notes or something. But if you're ignoring your back and your head, everything that your arms are connected to, then any tension or whatever that's going on back there is going to get immediately transferred to your arms. And if you're not aware of that transference, then you're going to, I don't know, maybe think that there's something wrong with your arms, when really there's this whole body tension pattern that's happening that is causing this symptom that you're finding in your arms. So a couple other examples. So like let's say you're trying to reach for something. This is more like daily activities kinds of things, but there's some lessons here that you can apply to playing music. So let's say you're going to reach towards the computer screen. So why don't you just try that? So bring your arm forward and just notice how you reach. Notice what happens in your body, how much tension you're using, what's happening in your head, neck, and back, your legs. All right, maybe try the other arm, reaching towards, reaching towards. All right, so then what does anybody notice? You get tighter or freer?
It reminds me, for a while I did eccentrics, which is kind of workout method that focuses on like body fascia.
Hmm.
And I remember they talked about like when your arm is as far as it can be away from
Mm-hmm.
your body, like that's when the most weight, it's the most
Mm-hmm.
heavy.
Yeah.
And so both reaching out like this
Mm-hmm.
and also when we were like hunched over and leaning
Yeah.
forward, it was like
Yeah.
all that weight was there, even though I
Yeah.
wasn't fully as far as away as I could have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels heavy. It can feel
Right.
tense too.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. Right. Okay. So now let's try this another way. Instead of just reaching with your arm, put your arm out at a comfortable length and then turn your body. And then you'll notice that your arm goes automatically forward all by itself. And if you turn your body the other way, your arm goes back. And you don't have to strain your arm at all. You just turn your body, your arm goes forward, turn your arm comes back. And so now let's go back to what people typically do, which is to think of their body as being kind of separate. Like my body's just going to stay here, kind of static and still. And then reach your arm forward. Reach, 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 reach. Can't quite reach. Push, push, push. Right? This is what people typically do, right? And then we'll try the other way one more time. Reaching your arm out at a comfortable length and just turn your body. Your arm automatically goes forward. Right? You can apply this to opening a door or opening your refrigerator. If you have like a stuck car door or something, and if you're doing it with just your little arm, then that's a lot of work for a small body part. But if you put your hand on the handle and you step back or step forward, then you're using your entire body as a muscle, one big muscle. And that's going to feel a lot easier because you're not straining one little body part. That's one thing. You're not using just one little body part to do the work that your whole body can do. But it's also that when you're sitting still and moving one body part away, then you're kind of going in two different directions at once. You're pushing away this way, but also you actually have to hold yourself back. And that's the only way that you can actually stay stable in your torso. When like putting your arm out that way, you have to hold yourself back. You might not even think of it that way. But that's what's happening, and that's why you might feel some excess tension, because you're kind of pulling on yourself in two different directions. But as soon as you turn or you lean forward or you step forward or something like that, then you're making it easy for your arm, and that's going to, it's going to feel a lot easier. You're going to function better as well. So the same thing goes for when you're doing something with fingers. So like on violin, one of the classic times of holding excess tension is using the fourth finger, like the pinky finger. Right? I see some knowing nods there. And one reason for that is the pinky finger is short. It's the shortest finger. It's also the furthest away from the fingerboard. And so what people typically do is keep their hand still in the same place and then reach that pinky finger. Finally got it in there. Then their hand looks like this death grip, right? It feels awful. And of course, it's not functional because you're so tense you can barely move. Like, how can you do vibrato or like a quick run that way? No way. Not even possible. But the only reason you're experiencing all that tension is because you're thinking of your pinky as being separate from the rest of your hand and arm. And what I teach all my students is your pinky, it's just a little thing. But be easy. Be kind to your pinky. Move your whole hand and arm to get that fourth finger. And not just your hand and arm, but like let your back move as well, and let your neck be free as you're doing this kind of thing. And all your movements, all those hand movements, will get a lot easier. Okay, so Somebody, Mary says she saw a quick Hillary Hahn video about that. Yeah, good. All right, so going to pause here. Any, any insights? What did you notice when we were moving your arm like this, just turning your arm instead of pushing your arm forward? Any questions coming up? Don't be shy.
Well, whenever I pick up my violin, I never do this. I bring the violin to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of locked. If I start up here, sometimes my elbow's out a little further. Then I wind up, I saw one video of myself at a jam. I was like curled over like this. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So that's really a good insight.
Yeah.
It's almost like boxing, because when you throw a punch,
That's
you're
right.
moving in, you're moving in.
Yeah, exactly.
Your whole body.
That's right. And of course it's going to be more subtle with something like violin, but bowing, absolutely like a whole body kind of movement. It's not as like gross as with boxing when you turn your whole body or whatever, but your back really needs to be able to move freely to support your arm movement.
And maybe you'll get into this, but I've found I gain like an extra inch on the bow on each end if you actually sort of are willing to move with it.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh shit, I don't have enough bow left to make this note last. If you actually turn with it, you gain.
Yes.
So being more fluid in the bowing, is this connected to that? Like
Absolutely. And I guess that goes back to body mapping as well, because body mapping is this. Well, your body map is you're not just your sort of notion of where all your body parts are, but like how everything is supposed to move, what's allowed to move,
right?
How much effort it takes to move. And if you think of yourself as being held within a little box of some kind, then you're going to find restrictions in your movements, right? And one of the things that I had to do when coming to Alexander Technique all those years ago for my own injuries that I had with playing, then was to really relearn how to play violin from the point of view of the body, of how my body actually functions and how ease works. And boy, did that change all my notions of technique. Any other?
I've been having a lot of discomfort in my left arm. And most of the things you had us map certainly pointed out where all those were happening. But, and I promised to see my doctor about it, but I have a lot of problem when I've either been holding a book or holding my tablet in my left hand.
Yeah.
More so even than when I'm playing my ukulele, though the part about the little finger has been very illuminating. Thank you.
Yeah,
Little
welcome.
fingers with the ukulele are a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
So all of this is making sense.
Yeah, good. Well, let's do one more group exploration. Eliza, I saw you moving your hand. Do you have a question? No, okay. Let's do one more group exploration, and then we'll do some one-on-ones. And I'll help you with your specific questions with your playing or challenges with playing. So, all right. So what I want you to do is just imagine playing your instrument, or I suppose you can actually do it if you want. But let's start with imagining, and I want you to notice where your attention normally goes. So you're playing. Just notice where your attention goes, to what part of your body, or to what thoughts. Okay, this is really important because where your attention goes, like the scope of your attention really matters for how you move. Okay, so just notice your habit there. Like personally, my attention goes mostly into my fingers and my arms. But now, widen your scope of attention. Pay attention to all those places where I showed you on those pictures where your arm muscles actually connect. From the back of your head, all the way across your back, your face, down your front, into your sides, all the way down to your tailbone, the full width of your back. All right, and imagine your whole back as being part of your arms. Your shoulder blades, able to move, your whole back, able to move, your neck, your jaw, your face. All this is connected to your arms, your legs even. connected to your arms. And just notice what difference that makes in terms of quality of movement, tighter versus freer, even just as you imagine playing.
Feels like Tai Chi.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, Tom, you have your hand up. Go for it.
I gotta get my audio. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It's extremely quiet.
I don't know what to turn up.
All right, well, how about you work out your audio settings and, or if you want to type in your question in the chat, that would work. All right. Anybody else have any noticings from this last little exploration?
So I'm wondering, I also feel my like focus in my fingers and generally throughout my right arm, since I've been working a lot there for the past few years, I have noticed recently I feel tension in my forearm, sometimes on the front here and then sometimes on the back.
Yeah.
And I'm like when I try to expand my awareness to that area, like below my fingers, it's hard for me to get there. Maybe because there's less movement involved, but I'm wondering, I just don't know.
So you're trying to expand your awareness below your fingers. What exactly does that mean? Do you mean like other areas of your body?
Well, just in my arm, like I really feel it here, and I've gotten out a lot of tension in my left hand, especially my fourth finger. I've strengthened a lot, but since I'm getting tension in my forearm, and I'm trying to like be more conscious about there, but it's like a gray area in my brain. I can't like, I just maybe haven't mapped it. Well, I definitely haven't mapped it enough, but yeah.
Okay. Well, it still sounds like you're paying most of your attention to your arms, even if it's not just your forearm, but a little bit further down. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about the parts of your arms that are on your back, or that are in your jaw, or which connect to your sides and legs, or connect to your belly? Is that a part of your imagined violin playing just now?
Well, definitely, I'm sitting right now. So, like fixing my spine instead of curling forward, realizing that helps me be more conscious of the back, but it's just like, we had a presentation about body mapping a few months ago, and it's just, I'm not always thinking about it when I'm sitting or standing.
So you're not thinking about it when you're sitting or standing?
Not consistently.
Yeah, yeah. Well, body mapping is useful in certain circumstances. It's something to do when you're having an ongoing issue of some kind. It's something to consider. And it certainly helps with gaining more body awareness, especially in parts of your body that you might not normally be aware of. But it's also just one tool among many. So when you move your arms, like and you're pretending to play, do you notice any movement happening in your back?
Yes, I feel that in my right arm, but not in my left.
Okay, so if you move your left hand like this, you don't feel any movement in your back?
Not really. Or if I do, it's just upper back.
Okay, so see if you can let the movement be even more fluid, even less effortful, and just move your hand back and forth, and see if you can notice any kind of jiggle happening in your body. Could be in your back, your front, your legs. So I definitely notice some kind of sensation in my back with my hand moving like this. Do you notice anything?
Yeah, a little bit. I'll have to refine it too.
Yeah, and keep in mind, there's not a whole lot of sensation that you can actually notice through this kind of thing. Most of our sensory nerves for movement are in our hands and our face. And so you're not going to get a whole lot by paying attention to your back, but you can at least get some. And my invitation, or like the best way to go about this that I've seen, is that I've practiced is not to focus on it too much. Have like a little bit of practice time where you remind yourself, oh yeah, this is where my arms are, and this is this or that kind of muscle group that I want to pay attention to, and maybe do some scales or like a particular passage while paying attention to that. But it's possible to actually get too narrowly focused even on that.
Yeah.
So just do some, and I find that even just like touching those parts of my body can really enliven awareness of that. So you can like rub your back on your chair, or get your back with your lower arm, with your hands, and that might wake up your back awareness a bit more as well.
Hmm.
Okay, can you work with that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Eliza. All right, Tom. Oh, I could barely hear you.
I turned the volume way up.
It is so quiet.
Well, can you hear me at all? I just have a quick question.
Okay, I can sort of hear you. Go for it.
I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of shoulder rest versus no shoulder rest.
Okay.
But in my experience, when I use a shoulder rest, I feel much more constrained, and it never worked out. I bought 10 or 15 different shoulder rests.
Oh,
So
my.
I play without a shoulder rest. Another thing is, keeping the bow straight. When you focus on that, one teacher recommended one of those wire things to keep the bow perpendicular to the strings. So I'm thinking a shoulder rest and that don't allow the body to move for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whereas with no shoulder rest, I can move my whole body, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the shoulder rest works for many people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, it restricts my body movement, as you were showing the body movement.
Yeah. Right. So the question is about shoulder rests. This is a big topic among violinists. Should you use one or should you not?
It is a big topic. I mean, I know so many fiddlers. Some use center rest, some use the side rest, some have hyper-extended rests, and some amazing fiddlers I know don't use any shoulder rest. So it takes getting used to. Or some just use a cloth, some just use a piece of foam. But it's a really big part of the comfort part of it. And then I know some old-time people who have a strap and the fiddle's down here, and I just play down here, so which restricts any moving into third position or something like that. But
Right.
it's a personal thing, and it's good to. If anyone were asking me, I would suggest that they experiment.
Yeah.
With different methods.
Right. And my bias is experimenting with the body in mind. Because you end up never seeing a violin play itself without a body there, right? And so the only way you can make a sound or do anything with your instrument at all is through your body. And so the purpose of a shoulder rest is to make it easier on your body so that you can play better. But if it's not working for your body, then don't use it. So the question, the North Star is like, am I getting tighter or freer when I'm doing this? If it's making you tighter, do something else. If it's making you freer, keep doing it. It really is as simple as that. Like most technique problems can be resolved through that lens.
And when I perform live in my rock band, or if I'm accompanying somebody, I'm plugged in. I'm electrified, and I play with a lot less stress and tension because I'm amplified. So. But sometimes when I'm playing in ensembles and you can't hear yourself, you tend to put more pressure. I don't know if other people on the bow, and the pressure increases tension right through the body, I find. So I'm trying to learn how to relax the grip more, relax my whole body in the non-amplified situations, non-electrified situations. Even though I'm sacrificing a little bit of my auditory response feedback. I'm trusting more of my muscle memory. Tension just totally takes me out of my game.
Absolutely. So, Bob, there's some feedback on your when you're unmuted. So just gonna keep you muted there for a second.
Well, you muted so I wouldn't interfere with what you're saying.
Thank you. Oh goodness, lost my train of thought there. Right. So body mapping is useful in terms of gaining an accurate understanding of what's happening in your body, but it's not necessarily like a root cause answer to ongoing tension in playing. Some of the other things that I teach, especially in some of the other weeks of doing the lab, like the magic pause and open focus, these get more to the root cause of tension. But it's really, so there's like a whole spectrum of practices and ideas that you need to be able to play more freely, like consistently freely. And the anatomical knowledge, the body mapping is part of that. So let's do some playing here. I know some of you have your instruments ready. And let's just see what happens. Why don't you play a little bit, and you can tell me what you noticed. Just pick a short passage, a challenging passage, something that normally gets you more tense than you'd like to. And I'll help you with that one-on-one, and we'll see if this body mapping material is helpful or not. So who wants to go first? Come on, don't be shy. Now's your time. Be bold.
Did nobody say yes yet?
Nobody said yes yet.
All right, so I'm working on the Beethoven Romance in F,
Nice.
and a lot of it's challenging. And I was thinking about the challenge of starting softly and pretty, but I'm going to go right to dropping the needle in the spot where you're jumping from the G string way up to a high note on the E string,
Okay, great.
and being sure you have the shift right, but fortunately there's time to find it. There's a couple of measures or a measure rest. So I'm here, and then I have the measure rest, and then I have to find, while I'm in the rest, right? Then it goes boom. So I'm cheating now. That, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. My rhythm goes. I'm like, there's so many black notes, and I have to fly down so. I don't know how much further you want to
That's
talk.
fine.
Okay.
That's plenty. Yeah, so what are you noticing about your body?
My jaw gets tense, and probably my right arm is it's not at all relaxed the way it should be.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my left is tense too, but so basically it's a good passage to give me advice on. Was I pulling my shoulders up?
I didn't see that necessarily.
Okay.
But I did see some stiffening through your torso while you're playing, like your neck, that kind of thing, getting a bit tense. Were you aware of any of that?
Pretty much everything, was tense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's probably not going to help your playing very much, right?
Right.
So why do you think that's happening in the first place?
Because in my mind, I think it's a difficult passage, and I know it's coming.
Yeah.
And what's before it is kind of beautiful, and then all of a sudden it gets, technically a little challenging.
Yeah.
But it's also tranquilo. It also still has to be pretty, and I end up like
goodness.
kind of sawing it, But it really is meant to be la la la.
Yeah.
So,
That's like yet one more level of challenge.
right,
Oh, you're going to do this incredibly difficult thing and make it light and delicate and pretty?
right. And at the very end of the romance, if you know it, it fades away very pianissimo, but you're way the heck up here, So it's simple looking, but it's challenging. So what would you suggest to all of us with a passage like that?
Well, a number of things. So, well, I'm not sure that the body mapping piece is going to be necessarily what's needed, but let's try it up front and see what happens. So, actually, why don't you put your violin down for just a second so your hands are free. And I want you to take your hands, and we can all do this. Just put your hands on your lower back and rub your lower back, reminding yourself, oh yeah, I have arm muscles that go all the way down here. And see how you can get up to your ribs. We have arm muscles that go through my ribs and into my chest, and rub your shoulders. Bring a little sensory awareness in there. And if you have a chair behind you or a wall, rub the back of your back on that wall.
Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead and do that for a second. It
I don't have
does
a
help.
wall.
Yeah, you have something there. Yeah. All right, and then you have arm muscles back here. So rub the back of your neck all the way back into here and into your jaw. All right. So does your body feel a little bit more awake?
A little bit. Okay.
Okay. So bring that little bit of awakeness into playing that passage again.
Oh, I lost my place. Yeah, I will apply that on my own instead of in front of all of you guys.
It's okay.
Okay, because I don't have all the notes. Okay.
No, wait. If you're willing, let's stick with this because
Okay.
this is a universal experience. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to get everything right all the time, right? So this is a great learning experience. So what do you notice in your body this time?
I think it was a little more relaxed.
Yeah, good.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded more relaxed.
But I was still judging in my head, like, oh, my intonation was off, but that's okay. I know that's not what this is about.
Well, those judgments are part of this whole pattern, right? They're part of the tension pattern.
Yeah.
The performance anxiety and the imposter syndrome and the perfectionism and all
of that.
all of that. It's all part of it.
Do we have any other volunteers?
You're eager to get off camera. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Good job.
Thank you.
Well done. Do a little body
I
wake
gotta
up
go.
there. Okay, sounds good. Who's next?
I can go if you want.
All right, Martin, go for it.
So this is a waltz that I generally use to help me relax.
Okay.
J. Unger tune. Just a couple notes there.
Okay. What do you
It's
notice
a-
in your body?
I was moving this time more than I generally do.
Okay.
I tried not to bring the violin so much to me as to go to it. I think I was still hunched over
Okay.
and not as open as I should have been. And I sort of lost the concentration with the pause and the open focus. But I was moving more than I generally do, I think.
Okay. All right. Good. So let's try something. Why don't you put your instrument up, but don't play yet, and just move your violin around a little bit just by itself, and notice your neck and your back and your jaw, your legs. It all moves in sympathy with your arm. Like your back is moving with your arm, your shoulder blades, your collarbone, right? And then move your bow arm around a little bit. Same idea. Noticing any movement happening in your back and your neck, your pelvis. That sympathetic movement. All right, and so keep an awareness then, why don't you try as part of that passage again, and keep an awareness of your back and your neck and your jaw, I mean, everything that your arms are connected to. Keep that in your awareness. All right, what do you notice?
The bow was sort of sliding around a little bit on the strings, probably because I was playing with a little less tension. But I don't know. I was moving. I think I was moving pretty well and didn't hunch over as much.
All right, good. Now, I heard a difference in your sound.
Uh-huh.
It sounded a bit more, like the sound was more rich
Uh-huh.
and more open.
Okay.
A little more fluid. So were you able to be aware of a little bit more of your body this time?
I think so. I get so wrapped up in the minutiae and my perfectionism.
Yeah,
And, it's hard for me to get rid of.
yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah, right.
It
So
usually happens somewhat after, about an hour of jamming and maybe a beer.
Right. Um, yeah. Well, and you're practicing then. Um, you can build up some of that body awareness at home, and then when you go to your jam session, it'll be easier to call upon that in
Yeah.
the bigger stimulus time of actually playing in front of people.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right. So
this is an example of I can relax better with this one and then start applying it to other tunes that I get,
totally,
right.
it's a good way of doing it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Good job. I think we have time for one more. Who wants to go? I saw you getting your violin, Miriam. You want to go? You want to play something?
Sure.
Okay.
So only my D string is hanging on for dear life. So
Oh, okay. All right. So, what do you notice in your body as you play that?
I completely changed my whole setup. I have this like minimalist chin rest, and
Mm-hmm.
if I've been a horse rider for 30 years,
Hmm.
and they're like, please stop riding, which I did not do at all. So I started playing the violin, which messed up my back even further.
Hmm.
So I ever since I changed my setup, I feel so much, my back just
Hmm.
feels so much better when I play.
Nice.
Also, it helps if I hold it up here and then bring it down.
Hmm.
If I bring it lower, I tend to crunch.
Hmm.
So like just really weird little things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. And well, what are you noticing as you play that?
As I played it, I only have the D string, so I kept wanting to go like my little E is completely missing. A's, I don't even
Yeah.
know what it's doing. G's
Right.
just not staying in tune. So I kept wanting to go to different strings. And
Okay.
yeah,
Understood. Okay. Well, the principles can still apply though. Did you get tighter or freer when you played?
yeah.
No, no. That was a question. Did you get tighter or freer?
Did I get tired?
Tighter or freer?
Tighter? Oh, freer. Yeah, the more I play, the freer I get.
Oh.
Think yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm curious. Is there a question that you have about your playing that I can help you with?
Um, I guess I'm just trying to make sure that I don't start locking back up because I was
Yeah.
before I changed my setup. I Somebody showed me a video of me playing, and I was like doing this
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh my God!" She's like, "Yeah, that's what you look like when you play, dude." It's like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying not to do that again. And like at one
Mm.
point, I pulled something in my jaw. I had to go get a massage. So yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Right. And so, what's been helpful for you other than changing your setup?
that has been the most helpful thing.
Okay.
I'm from California, so I grew up with the whole like hippie thing and like
Mm.
live in your body and
Mm.
like all that stuff.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right. All right. Good. Well, yeah. Well, to break that kind of habit, it takes some skills, and that's what this class is for. So we'll touch on a bunch of different skills over the coming weeks with this as well. Okay. So we're coming up to the end of our time, and yeah, just have some announcement. We're going to do the raffle in just a minute. But before that, I have some announcements. So I have a performance anxiety workshop coming up on Valentine's Day, and it's called "Stop Playing Scared." And we're going to teach you a skill, very simple practice that's very powerful, that helps you unstick the emotional patterns, the psychic energy that underlies performance anxiety. And it can work very quickly in my experience. So that'll be a 90-minute workshop, and I'm planning on doing these monthly. I'm going to teach a bunch of different skills and techniques in these Stop Playing Scared workshops. So you can find that at my website, soulforcearts.com/SPS, Stop Playing Scared. And early bird pricing ends on Tuesday. So it's $47 for early bird pricing, and it'll go to $57 after that. And then other ways to learn more, to go deeper. This musician's tension reset lab. I teach like 4 different themes, I guess, 4 different skills. And if you want to go deeper, if you want like really lasting relief from tension and pain, if you want to be able to experience real freedom when you play, like expressive freedom, real comfort, then I suggest you go a little bit deeper. And you can do that with my Perform Without Pain program. It's a group program. And I also have a one-on-one program. You can see all that on my website. And I also, I have a book and an online course there as well. And I do offer this class for free, in a sense, but I like to think of it as a gift. This is something I love doing. I feel very passionately about this topic, and if this touches you, if you find it useful, I welcome a return gift of some kind. That could be financial, or it could just be making a social media post, or sending me a nice message of what worked for you, or telling a friend or something like this. So whatever fits for you is welcome, even if that's nothing. Okay, so our last thing then is the raffle. To get a free copy of my book, I'll send it to you. So what we're going to do is pick a number between 1 and 100. I'm going to pick a number in my head, and the person who gets that closest number will win the book. So you can put that in the chat. And yes, there will be a recording. Okay. Did everybody take their guess? All right. So now we're going to end voting. And Eliza got exact match, 99. So congratulations, Eliza. So Eliza, if you can put your email address in the chat here, I'll reach out to you, and you can send me your mailing address, and I'll send you a book this week. And Martin, did you get the book yet? No? Okay, well, it takes a little while. I did put it in the mail. Okay, that's all for today. I'm willing to hang out for a couple more minutes. If you want to have an after party, ask any more questions, please do that. And if not, I'll see you next time. Yeah, anybody have any final thoughts or experiences you want to share? Yeah, Elizabeth?
I have a chronic problem with fast passages and my everything seizing up
Yeah.
since decades. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's psychological because it just happens so fast and I can't get control over it. I can't stop it. And it's my biggest focus. Like I think about it and I try to release it, but it just seizes up when I'm in the middle of a very fast passage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just muscle memory and if I had been doing it for so long that my body just goes there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a very common habit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Playing fast or doing anything complicated or new, that can always raise the stimulus level, and then your nervous system goes, ah!
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because the
Yeah.
perceived demand is so high, and then your nervous system calls upon all these excess resources to meet that demand. And I think you'll find, if you want, or you can just go to my YouTube channel, Soulforce Arts YouTube channel, and if you watch some of the recent lab recordings, there's one on magic pause and one on open focus, and I bet if you apply those tools, you'll find some relief right away. And if that doesn't do everything that you want, then you can just come back next week, or you can reach out and you can take some lessons privately or in the group program, and I can help you with that, because it's very common, and I've helped lots of people with that. There's absolutely many methods for releasing that, and pretty quickly, even if you've had that your whole life.
I'll definitely look up those videos and I'll be back definitely. Thank you so much for this.
Great. Yeah, you're so welcome. Anybody else have some reflections or comments?
I have a question.
Hey, Tom.
Can you hear me again?
It's so quiet.
I have no idea what it is. Jennifer Johnson's book on body mapping and for the violinist. Do you have that, or have you seen that?
Do I have somebody's book on body mapping?
Yeah, Jennifer Johnson.
No, I don't have it.
Okay. I'll go to your website and send you a link. I'd like
Okay.
your opinion of it.
Okay, please do.
Okay.
Yeah, you can send it to joseph@soulforcearts.com. And how's your playing feeling these days, Martin? You've been coming a couple of times.
Jams have been infrequent, and there's been other stuff going on. I went to a Wednesday night jam that I don't usually go to. It was very slow, and it was tough to concentrate properly. But I've got some ideas to work on.
Okay, cool.
The funny thing is, in one of these more high-level jams, these are young guys. I've watched some of them grow up, and they've become amazing musicians. They might become pros. And the tunes that I played in college, fiddle tunes, I can play as fast as they can. But new tunes, not so much. So it's really, it takes me a long time to learn new stuff.
Yeah.
Even songs, even words, lyrics. So I'm just dealing with it. But it's still fun to go to jams.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, good.
And I think this will help. I really want to get a big mellow sound, especially when I do slower pieces.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well, I've definitely found that this stuff helps with that. Okay. Well, if there's anything else, I think we'll call it a day.
All right. Is there a class next Sunday?
Yep, every week.
Okay.
So
And I'll probably sign up for your video course.
Okay, great.
I don't know that I can commit to live courses,
Okay.
especially at some of the times you had.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. Well, that'll be helpful, and we could also always do bring your questions here, or we could always do a one-on-one sometime if you
Good.
wanted.
That's great. I might even go to Philadelphia one of these days.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I still have some relatives there.
Okay. Very good. Well, I'll see you all soon then.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Sure.
Bye.